When I was a kid, I played baseball. I guess I signed up for baseball starting when I was about 5. The city league. This is up in Kentucky. I played baseball from about 5 to, I don't know, 15. Somewhere in there, I switched to softball in my teenage years. I remember being, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years old. And it seems like this happened all the time, and maybe it only happened a couple of times, I don't know. But I remember telling my mom, it would be this was a league that went through the summer. It wasn't during the school year, so it was, June, July. I remember telling my mom, she would say, "Okay, Eddie, it's time for practice. Let's go to practice." And I'd say, "Nah, I don't want to go to practice today. It's hot out there, and I'm watching TV, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to play baseball anymore. I'm done with that this year." And she would say to me, my mom, she would say, "You signed up for baseball, so you're going to go play baseball. They're having a practice right now, so you're going to go to that practice. When they have the games, you're going to go to the games. If you don't want to sign up for baseball next year, you don't have to sign up for baseball next year, and you won't have to go to the practices or the games. But you signed up for it this year, so you're going to go to baseball this year." Now, like I say, I seem to recall that conversation happening a couple of times at least, 3 or 4 maybe. And so maybe the next year also, it was, April or something. It's not so hot outside and all that. And I haven't played baseball in a while. I signed up for it. Come June or July, it's hot outside. I want to watch TV. I don't want to. She'd give me that lecture again. Our topic is faithfulness. One of the fruits of the Spirit is faithfulness. The Spirit wants to produce in us the fruit of faithfulness, which basically means doing what you have committed yourself to doing, following out, being faithful to what you have committed yourself to. We have committed ourselves to a life with God. And that is going to require faithfulness. Especially faithfulness, it's the rubber meets the road when you don't want to do what you have committed yourself to doing. When it gets hot outside and you would rather just watch TV. We have songs that encourage us to be unfaithful. I don't mean church songs, although maybe I haven't analyzed all of our church songs, but I'm thinking about popular songs. And listen, I haven't listened to pop music in 20 years, so all of my pop culture references are going to be at least from the 90s and back, okay? Nothing from 2000 this way. But I'm thinking of see if you know this one. Lord, I was born a rambling man. I'm trying not to sing to you. It's a little hard. It's a little hard not to sing. Trying to make a living and doing the best I can. But when it's time for leaving, I hope you'll understand that I was born a rambling man. That's Allman Brothers. One before that, let me see if I can get this one. I can't get it. Not in this moment, but Hank Williams has one. And I'm not talking about Bocephus. I'm talking about senior. Hank Williams has a song called Ramblin' Man. And where he is also sort of just explaining, when it's time to leave, I'm out. I'm out the door. They are wonderful songs that teach a terrible message, where this man has certain commitments But when it's time to leave, I'm out the door, and you cannot count on me. That's just the way I was born. He's blaming it on his birth. The Allman Brothers blame it on being born in the back of a Greyhound bus heading down Highway 41, I think is it. Come on, man. Well, let me say this. When you sign up for a life with God, that is not who you are. You are not a rambling man. You make commitments, you keep the commitments. Faithfulness is one of the fruits of the Spirit that we have to keep, especially when we don't want to. That is what faithfulness is. Keeping the commitment when you don't want, keeping the commitment when you want to keep the commitment, that's not faithful. I mean, I guess it is faithfulness, but who cares? Everybody will do that. When you don't want to, that's the point. Let me give you an example. I'm going to read an extended passage here. This is Mark 14. They went to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." He took with him Peter, James, and John, and began to be distressed and agitated. And he said to them, "I am deeply grieved." And going a little farther, he threw himself on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. He said, "Abba, Father, for you all things are possible. Remove this cup from me." Now, watch this. "Yet not what I want, but what you want." He came and found them sleeping, and he said to Peter, "Simon, are you asleep? Could you not keep awake 1 hour? Keep awake and pray that you may not come into the time of trial. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." And again he went away and prayed, saying the same words. And once more he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were very heavy, and they did not know what to say to him. He came a third time and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Enough, the hour has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand." Mark 14, 32 to 42. It is a picture of someone doing what they have committed themselves to doing, even though they do not want to do it. Please, Abba, Father, think of some other way. I am not looking forward to this at all. All things are possible for you, so think of something else. But he had committed himself. I mean, how many times had he said that the Son of Man had come to the earth for this very purpose? He had said earlier in Mark 10:45, to give his life a ransom for many. He knew why he was there. This was what his life was leading up to. He had committed himself to it. He did not want to do it, but he was willing to say, "Not my will, but yours be done." That is the essence of faithfulness. He wasn't a rambling man. He was going to keep his commitments. Once again, our world is not good at helping us develop this virtue. It is our modern Western culture is not going to work with the Spirit in cultivating the fruit of faithfulness in our lives. I mean, Maybe we see the need for faithfulness most prominently in marriage, and that is one of the ways in which our modern Western culture has betrayed us by teaching us that there's really no need for commitment. You fall in love and you can fall out of love, and what you really need to do is be true to yourself and what your heart is telling you. And if that means you need to split up and not keep your commitments, I mean that is, after all, who you are. Well, you might be a rambling man, but the Spirit wants to change who you are. I still remember, maybe this was some time ago, more than a decade, I reckon, when I was at church. I haven't known many people to be married for 70 years. When I was at church, I think it was a Wednesday night. And of course, anybody that's been married for 70 years, that is an old man and woman. And there's an old man, Gilbert Kretzer, who struggled to get to the front and take the microphone, and he wanted to tell us his wife, Vertus, was not able to be at church services. She was sick. And he wanted to tell us in the audience, and I'm glad he did. I still remember it to this day. He wanted to tell us that he was about to celebrate his 70th wedding anniversary. That is an example of faithfulness. That is an example that we need to hold in our minds. Maybe you have seen somebody married 70 years, or maybe not quite 70, but maybe you've seen people celebrate their 60th anniversary. Listen, you need to hold these people in honor. You need to make that your own goal. Certainly if you're married, you need to make it your own goal. We're going to celebrate those milestones. There's some day that I'm going to be celebrating my 60th wedding anniversary, my 70th wedding anniversary. And we know that that doesn't all depend on your faithfulness, that there has to be longevity involved in that. But still, we can make it our goal. We are going to be examples of faithfulness. We are going to keep our commitments when it comes to church attendance, when it comes to just the simple aspects of Christianity, that we have committed ourselves to this strange way of life. We will be examples of faithfulness to others. They will see us keeping our commitments. We thank God that He is faithful to us. We praise our Lord Jesus Christ that He was faithful in Gethsemane through the struggle, because He did not want to go through with it, but He was willing to say, "Not my will, but yours be done." The Spirit wants to teach us to say those same words so that we can develop faithfulness.